The candle had burned low. Papers covered the scarred desk as Abraham Lincoln leaned over one more decision. Outside that room, a divided nation waited. War consumed lives. Grief entered homes. Critics attacked his judgment. Every choice carried consequences he could not escape. Lincoln could not command the war, the losses, the opposition, or the pressure already written into that day. But he could command his finish. So he read the document again. He examined every line. He considered who would carry the cost of his decision. Then, when exhaustion invited him to settle, delay, or surrender, Lincoln completed the next required act. His life had already carried poverty, debt, heartbreak, failed elections, and political defeat. Yet adversity never received the final word. Lincoln kept returning to reflection, responsibility, service, and the mission still before him. His discipline at the close protected the purpose at the center. This week we confronted confusion, urgency, interruption, and drift. Each enemy attacked a different gate, but all four wanted the same outcome. They wanted us to surrender command before the mission produced evidence. Lincoln gives us the final key. A guarded day must become a completed day. The question today is not simply, did you protect what mattered? The question is, can you protect what matters long enough to finish what leadership requires? Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Daily Leadership Brief. I'm your host, Jason Safford, the Resilience Architect. And today, we're getting into the finish that reveals the leader. Leadership becomes visible at the moment pressure gives us permission to stop. The finish reveals whether our commitments remain stronger than our circumstances. Today, we will unite everything we practiced this week into one final command: guard the gate, finish the mission, and produce the evidence. The world before the decision for Abraham Lincoln was a divided nation that faced conditions no single leader could control. War, grief, division, and political pressure had entered the room long before Lincoln got there and arrived with every decision. Your pressure may look different, but leadership tests remains the same. Will pressure command your final action, or will you? Surrender is the enemy today. And when we think of surrender, we often think of it as quitting. It appears as one small compromise, delay, distraction, or excuse that leaves the mission unfinished. You identify it by confusion, urgency, interruption, and drift, which all serve the same enemy. Each one tries to make us release command before completion. So the gate is completion, and surrender is preventing you from getting through the gate. Going back to Abraham Lincoln, he commanded the next required act. He did not need control over every circumstance. He reclaimed command by identifying and completing the next required act. So ask yourself, what action remains fully within my command? Leadership returns the moment that answer becomes clear. Guarding the gate protects the mission from attack. Finishing the mission proves the protection produced value. We do not defend our attention merely to feel disciplined. We must defend it so something important can reach completion. Again, there were four enemies, four gates, one mission to complete. Guarding the gate protects the mission from attack. Finishing the mission proves that the protection produced value. This week, We covered Monday, protected identity from confusion. Tuesday, protected judgment from urgency. Wednesday, protected attention from interruption. Thursday, protected execution from drift. Today, we connect those gates into one operating system. And that operating system is declare, discern, protect, return, and finish. So, today's leadership question: can you protect what matters long enough to finish? I want you to identify one mission that still requires your command. Make it specific enough to complete or decisively advance before today ends. Then ask yourself, what kind of leader does this finish require me to become? Allow the answer to challenge your current behavior. This is also something that you can share with a fellow leader. Looking at the cost of surrender, every unfinished commitment continues consuming attention. It requires mental residue, or actually it creates mental residue, weakens confidence, and reduces the capacity available for the next mission. I want you to name the most expensive open loop from this week. Identify that open loop and what it should become as the first candidate for today's finish. Okay. Looking at the master key, protect the command until it produces evidence. Do not use confusion choosing a priority with completing it. Do not confuse choosing a priority with completing it. When another demand seeks access, you must respond with this rule: I will evaluate it after the commanded evidence exists. So the operating algorithm that we're working on for this week is the weekly command chain. Within it, we're focusing on a promised client decision that cannot remain an intention. It needs a deliverable, a deadline, and a person who will receive the result. So replace the example on the slide with your own open loop. State exactly what you will complete, when you will complete it, and who will benefit. So again, you're going to declare, who must I become? Discern what truly matters now. Defend what cannot gain access. Do what proves completion, and deliver who receives the value of this result. The algorithm in action is a promised client decision that cannot remain an intention. It needs a deliverable, a deadline, and a person who will receive the result. Oh, I guess I already read that. Forgive me. So again, we're declaring, discerning, defending, doing, and delivering that result. And our goal is to complete that decision by 3 p.m. today. The most important thing in this slide is do not carry into Monday this decision as mental residue. All right. Completion capacity is what we are working on. And that is the ability to preserve identity, judgment, attention, and execution until the chosen mission produces evidence and contribution. Organizations learn whether they can trust a leader through completed commitments. Reliability turns a personal discipline into institutional strength. Okay. So the gate review: identity. Did I lead as declared? Mission. What evidence exists? Access. What breached the gate? Contribution. Who became stronger? And the carryover. What requires command Monday? Again, I want you to complete one mission before today ends. 5 o'clock, select one open loop, run the weekly command chain, and deliver observable evidence. Post it online, share it with the world. In terms of the evidence and contribution, evidence must be observable. Send the document, confirm the decision, complete the conversation, or deliver the promised result. Leadership becomes contribution when someone else receives clarity, progress, support, or relief because you finished. And that is the identity that you want to create from today's word. And for each one of us, we are setting the intention for today. Today, the word is complete. I command or I protect the command until it produces evidence and contribution. So becoming a finisher is all about completion. I want you to declare out loud. Today, I practice becoming a finisher. I protect the command until it produces evidence and contribution. And as you use that word complete from the last slide, when pressure invites surrender, let that word return to you command. Again, I am Jason Safford, the Resilience Architect. This has been another Daily Leadership Brief. The operating manual is the Win Your Day book. And you can join the Resilience Universe as a member and look into the Resilience Circle. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. And again, go out there and win your day.